Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the mysteries of corporate finance. And today we're digging into Global Crossing Airlines Group Inc.'s latest report, which might just have some bumpy skies ahead. This isn't a day-to-day update, it's a current report, meaning something significant happened way back on August 13th, 2025, but they're telling us about it now. Global Crossing Airlines, or GCSA as they're sometimes known, is basically a charter airline. They fly people or cargo for specific clients, not usually on regular scheduled routes like the big guys. Think of them as the private jet service for groups. Now, one of the first things they tick is that they're an emerging growth company. This means they're still relatively small and get some perks, like being able to delay adopting new accounting standards. It's important because it means us looking at their numbers might be seeing them through a slightly older lens. Here's where it gets interesting. The main news dropped on August 13th with a press release about their second quarter financial results for the period ending June 30th, 2025. And to top it off, they had a conference call the very next day, August 14th, to really break it all down. They're being upfront about using non-GAAP numbers. This means they're adjusting the standard accounting figures to try and show what they think is a clearer picture of their performance. It's like they're saying, sure, the official score is this, but here's how we really feel we're playing. Always a bit of a yellow flag as it can be used to smooth over bad news. We always want to see the pure GAAP numbers first. Then on August 14th, they also put out an investor presentation on their website. This is usually a more visual, high-level look at the company, often used to highlight progress and future plans. Again, they're using those non-GAAP numbers, so keep that in mind. The real meat of this filing is in the exhibits. They're providing the press release, the earnings call transcript, and that investor presentation. Essentially, they're giving us all the information they released to the public on those two dates. The press release is going to be packed with all the official financial results. We don't have the full tables here, but based on the structure, this is where they would announce revenue, profit or loss, and key performance indicators for that second quarter. Typically, these reports will talk about how much money they brought in, what their expenses were, and whether they made a profit or a loss. For an airline, you'd look at things like passenger numbers, how full the planes were, and the cost of fuel, which is a big one. The earnings call transcript is gold. This is where management talks directly to investors and analysts. You can often hear the confidence or lack thereof in their voices. They'll explain the numbers, address analysts' tricky questions, and give forward-looking statements. This is where you might pick up on their strategy and how they plan to navigate any challenges. If they mention anything about fleet utilization, for example, that's a key metric for airlines. The investor presentation will likely show growth trends, market opportunities, and their financial projections. It's their showpiece designed to impress. They might talk about new routes, expanding their fleet or partnerships. For a charter airline like Global Crossing, growth could mean securing more long-term contracts with companies or governments, or expanding into new types of charter services. Now let's put on our Warren Buffett hat and think about what this all means. While we don't have the actual numbers within this filing document itself, the fact that they're releasing this information suggests they're highlighting their financial performance for the second quarter. If they're an emerging growth company, every dollar of revenue and every bit of profit matters a lot for their trajectory. If they're showing losses, it indicates they're still in an investment phase, burning cash to build the business. For an airline, especially a charter one, profitability can be very sensitive to things like aircraft leases, maintenance costs, and the general demand for travel, which can fluctuate wildly. The use of non-GAAP figures is particularly worth scrutinizing in this industry. Airlines often have significant fixed costs, so even small changes in revenue or occupancy can have a big impact on the bottom line. If they're using non-GAAP numbers to paint a rosier picture, it means the actual GAAP numbers might reveal a less favorable reality. We'd want to see if their core operations are generating cash or if they're reliant on external financing. Looking at the overall situation, an airline's success hinges on several factors: efficient operations, strong demand for their services, and good management of their assets, which are primarily aircraft. For Global Crossing Airlines, their strategy likely involves securing a steady stream of clients for their charter flights. Risks would include economic downturns that reduce travel demand, rising fuel prices, and stiff competition from other charter operators. The fact that they're providing this update shortly after the quarter ended is good practice, showing they're keeping investors informed. My take on this filing is that It's a standard disclosure of recent financial results and related public communications. The key for us as investors is to actually go and read those exhibits, the press release, the transcript, and the presentation. That's where the real story about Global Crossing Airlines' performance and future is told beyond just the metadata in this 8K. We need to see if emerging growth translates to actual sustainable growth or just a prolonged period of losses. Alright, that's our quick decoder for this filing. What's your take on these reports? Do you think Global Crossing Airlines is on the right flight path, or are they heading for turbulence? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out our Discord in the description to keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching. See you next time.